everybody, I'm Joey Paul and I'm an indie author, and welcome back to my channel. I write young adult fiction across a variety of genres, and if you think that might interest you, then think about subscribing below. I've been someone that's been seen to be very good at balancing work, life and all of that, especially when you take into consideration that work is split into different projects and different stages of those projects, and therefore pulls my attention in many different ways. I thought I would give you a few tips on balancing everything. I will just add a disclaimer that my way may not work for everybody, and that's okay. We're all different and we all have different ways of doing things, and while some of these tips may seem universal, they're not, and if they don't work for you, you're not doing it wrong. So number one, planning for me is key. I know that you've probably heard this a bajillion times before, but planning your time can really help. It does for me, but saying that, I know it's not possible for everyone. Some people just don't think that way, and that is completely okay, but if you are someone who thinks that having a plan, however you choose to do so, will help, then by all means go ahead. I started off with making sure that I only had the one thing to do a day, and eventually my planning went from sticky notes on my computer to a paper planner alongside the calendar app on my iPad. Think about it, if you're trying to strike that balance, then knowing what you need to do each day ahead of time is going to help you stick to your tasks. This can lead to a lot of trial and error. It can lead to months where you don't get everything done or not much at all, but it's always going to take time to find that right way to balance everything for you. I will suggest that you always start small, and I'll talk about that more in a moment, but if you're finding yourself in the midst of a lot of projects, then you might find that you're already kind of overwhelmed. Something else I will talk about more in a moment. Finding that right way for you to plan is imperative. I love bullet journals, but I have zero artistic skill, and I also didn't think it was feasible for me to use my hands a lot to plan. For those who don't know, one of my disabilities makes writing for too long extremely painful, so I always wanted to start more with digital, even though I do love doing my planner spreads once a month. However you choose to plan, and even if you don't, having some idea of what you need to get done is a good way to start trying to find that balance. Number 2, weighing up importance. Going back to being overwhelmed, sometimes we really don't know what we've got to get done, or that we need some kind of plan to balance it out until it's too late and we're already in the thick of things with deadlines coming out of our ears. One of the first things you need to do is weigh up the importance of everything. Like if you have one project with a deadline in a week and another 2 with deadlines further out, then yes, you need to put that first one as more important to get done than the others. But this just doesn't apply to writing and the like, it can also apply to other commitments in your life. When Mix K was little, we would put their needs and such first, obviously, so things like writing and the like would have to take a backseat. Now that they're older, I have more time to write, but at the same time, if they needed me for something, then that's going to have a high level of importance to me than writing, even with those deadlines. So if you're finding yourself with a lot of sucks on your time, then you need to start putting them in an order of importance. You might have to decide not to do a few things until you've got a better handle on that balance, but you might also decide that some of your writing projects need to take a back seat for a while. However you go about doing it, it's important to remember that you are human and you can only do a certain number of things in a day and still take care of yourself, which I will again talk about more in a moment. Number 3, being honest with yourself. Going back to starting small, the first thing you need to do is actually be honest with yourself. After all, no one, absolutely no one, knows how you work as well as you do. I know that I can manage to do a certain number of things a day, but I also know how many projects I can feasibly manage during a period. So even if you think that you can write this book, revise another 3, do dev edits, and also do a million different things on social media, you need to be honest with yourself about whether you can actually manage all of that. Nothing wrong with taking things slow. There are no time limits when it comes to publishing and writing. I mean, even with deadlines, it depends on what path you choose and the like, but with indie, a lot of those deadlines are flexible. So if you know that you're already carrying a very heavy load, be honest about whether you can really add something more to that, and if you can't, then there's nothing wrong with that. It's okay to not be doing absolutely everything. You can take your time, and that's okay. And number 4, breaks are not optional. You all knew this one was coming. After all, I've always been someone who advocates for breaks. It's not just me being chronically ill and disabled, because I see so many writers and creatives who refuse to take breaks because they think they've not earned them. And that's just not true. You do not have to earn a break. You are a human being and you need to have some downtime, especially as a creative. I won't lie and say that I was always good at taking breaks, because I wasn't. I had to make it a goal of mine after a year or two of pushing myself and realising that I was close to burning out. You do deserve time off to recharge. You do deserve time off from working. You do deserve time off from trying to get everything done. Even if you miss a deadline, even if you didn't get everything done this week or month that you wanted to, you need time off, and that is a hill that I'm willing to die on. So there we go, those are my 4 tips when it comes to balancing everything. It really can be very overwhelming and feel like a lot to sit down and work out what you're going to do and how you're going to do it. But that's why I advocate starting small, because then you can start slowly adding things to your pile rather than having a huge pile and trying to fit it in absolutely everywhere. But as I've said a million times before on this channel, breaks are very much not optional. You need to take them. And it doesn't matter who you are, you need to take them. So what's one of your tips when it comes to balancing everything? Let me know in the comments down below. So that's all I've got time for today. If you want to support my channel, you can comment, like, or subscribe. I post videos on Thursdays. You can find me all over social media, and my books are available everywhere, and you can also sign up for my newsletter. And don't forget to pick up Invisible, which is the first in a young adult dystopian quartet. And also don't forget to grab a ticket for Wonderland in Nottingham in July 2025, where I'll be signing books. All the links to which are listed below. Thanks for watching, and remember to keep writing. Bye.